Hello and welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to News Cycle on Global Television. Coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja, I am Jumai Manson. Now, a quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365 and free to air on Nicomsat. President Bola Tinubu will depart Abuja on Sunday for Dar es Salaam, Tanzania, to participate in the African Heads of State Energy Summit on January 27-28, 2025. Special Advisor on Information and Strategy to the President, Bayo Ononuga, revealed this in a statement. According to the statement, the summit hosted by the government of Tanzania in collaboration with Africa Development Bank Group and the World Bank aims to advance Mission 300, an initiative to provide electricity access to 300 million people in Africa by 2030. Bandits have reportedly abducted 22 locals on fresh separate attack in the Kungatwa local government of Kushaike Kumana Chieftain and Kitanda community of Gesere Kumana Chieftain in Kawaru local government area of Kaduna State. Reports gathered say a student pastor and resident Emmanuel Johnson, who confirmed the incident to newsmen, said the assailants invaded the two communities in separate attacks on Friday at about 10:30 p.m., kidnapping 22 locals, mostly women and children. He explained that 12 locals were kidnapped in the Kintandan community of Gesere Kumana Chieftain, where 10 locals were also whisked away in a Kungana community in Kumana Chieftain. Meanwhile, notorious terrorist leader Bello Turji has expressed his willingness to surrender. The Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa, disclosed this on a program. Musa revealed that recent military operations targeting Turji's network has significantly weakened his position. He stated that the operation led to elimination of the Turji's second-in-command and several top lieutenants, forcing him to release many hostages and consider laying down arms. In the meantime, the federal government has announced the addition of hairstyling, plumbing, GSM, repairing, makeup, and 12 others new subjects to the basic education curriculum. The development comes following ongoing reforms in various sectors of the economy. This is contained in a statement issued by the National Orientation Agency, NOA, stating that the new trades were added to the basic education curriculum to boost students' practical skills and employability. A group identified as Citizens Network for Peace and Development in Nigeria, MPDN, has faulted the Nigerian Governors Forum, NGF's VAT sharing formula for states in the proposed tax reform bill. The group, in its communique issued on the proposed bill at the end of its citizens' engagement in Abuja and signed by Chijoke Wachuku, Benkilo Adekiyo, Dangama Abubakar, Ali Paul, and Isa TK, was presented by Okiri Raphael, the group's national coordinator at the news conference. The communique said that the NGF's formula did not take into account the nation's productivity and economic growth. Hence, the group urged the National Assembly to reconsider the proposed bill and adopt a more subtle approach that rewards productivity and economic growth. The Federal Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Reduction has described as fake the purported federal government's 50,000 naira child support grant for all Nigerian parents trending on social media. Director of Information in the ministry, Rhoda Ilia, in a statement in Abuja, described the information as fake, cautioning parents to be wary of the activities of fraudsters trying to scam them. On aviation matters now, the Federal Airport Authority of Nigeria, FAAN, has put a hold on all access gate fees at the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport. This is contained in a statement by its management saying that the move was to alleviate the traffic burden on airport road users. The suspension will take effect from January 24th, 2025 to February 7th, 2025. Now on health, the Association of Resident Doctors in the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, has called off the 3-day warning strike after the intervention of Nyesom Wike, the president of the association, Dr. George Ebong. In a statement by the Federal Capital Territory Administration under Wike, has met most of their demands. It was reported that the doctors had embarked on a 3-day warning strike to press home their demands. However, in an update, Ebong revealed that its members have started receiving alerts of 6 months' salary arrears. Local residents say a 72-year-old woman has died from the cholera outbreak reported earlier in the week in a coastal community of Emeroko in eastern Obola local government area of Akwa Ibom State. The development has the death toll to rise to 12. Medics at the neighboring Emmanuel General Hospital at Iket local government area of the state, where the victims were taken for treatment, had put the initial death figure at 5. With mostly children and teenagers worst hit by the sudden cholera outbreak before government intervention. Those affected were diagnosed with the following disease following notable symptoms including severe stooling, vomiting, and general body weakness. Meanwhile, Oron Youth Movement, a civil liberty organization in Akwa Ibom State, has appealed to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to direct the Minister of Marine and Blue Economy, Adegboyega Oyetola, to commence the process of the immediate takeoff the University of Maritime Studies, Oron, by ensuring that the provisions of the Establishment Act 2022 are fully implemented. It also appealed to the Senate President, Godswill Akpabio, to intervene to quicken the process to take off the university. This was contained in a statement by the National President, Edet Eyo, National Vice President, Victor Onome, and National Secretary, Edith Eyahue, and made available to journalists in Uyo, highlighting the need for the implementation of the Act to bring an end to the appointees into the legal, non-existent maritime economy of the Nigerian Oron. The National Assembly has postponed its resumption fixed for January 28 till February 4th. The clerks to the Senate and House of Representatives disclosed this in separate statements in Abuja. An internal memo dated 24th January 2025 and addressed to all senators titled Change in Resumption Date. The clerk to the Senate, Andrew Uwoba, informed that there is a change in the resumption date due to the ongoing budget defense. The House of Representatives also announced a postponement of the resumption in a statement by its spokesman, Akin Rotimi. The impeached Speaker of the Lagos State House of Assembly, Mudashiru Obasa, has faulted his removal by lawmakers. Obasa, who spoke on his removal for the first time on Saturday, said it was important for the lawmakers to follow constitutional procedure to remove him as Speaker. The former Speaker also debunked the allegations of corruption brought against him by the lawmakers during his removal, describing the alleged financial misappropriations as impossible. Elsewhere in the news, Lagos State government has threatened to arrest and persecute minors who violate safety operation guidelines and regulations of the state. The special advisor to the Governor of Mineral Resources, Abiola Olowu, said this during a meeting with the Lagos State Daggers and Miners Association in Alausa, Ikeja. According to a statement signed by the Deputy Director Public Affairs Unit of the Ministry of Energy and Mineral Resources, Adetola Idowu, Olowu reiterated the state's commitment to safe and sustained mineral resource management. Former President Muhammadu Buhari has returned to Nigeria after testifying in a case filed against the country by Sunrise Power at the International Chamber of Commerce Court of Arbitration in Paris, France. Buhari's return was disclosed with a video shared on X by former Special Assistant to the President on Digital Communications, Bashir Ahmed. Buhari was spotted stepping off an aircraft as he returned from Paris. You are watching the live broadcast of News Cycle on Global Television. It's coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja, where News Cycle returns. United States suspends proceeding passport application with ex-gender marker. We shall bring you those details as well as that of business and sports stories right after the break. Please stay with us. You're welcome back, and if you're just tuning in, this is News Cycle on Global Television. Thank you for staying with us. In business now, big tech company Meta has announced plans to invest up to $65 billion to strengthen its artificial intelligence infrastructure and accelerate innovation. This massive investment is part of the company's strategy to lead AI advancements, enhance its core offerings, and expand infrastructure to support groundbreaking developments in the field. In a Facebook page, Meta's Chief Executive Officer Mark Zuckerberg outlined the company's next steps towards achieving these ambitious goals. The Deputy Speaker of the House of Representatives, Benjamin Kalu, says removing fuel subsidy had positively impacted the economy, with the federal government saving as much as $10 billion in 2023. Kalu, a member of the All Progressive Congress, added that the policy led to a 22% increase in dollar remittance from the diaspora, totaling $28 billion in 2024. Kalu disclosed this during a meeting with some investors and some group of scholars at Oxford University in London on the sidelines of the ongoing United Kingdom-Nigeria Parliamentary Strategic Dialogue working visit to visit the United Kingdom. The mandatory remittance of electricity distribution companies to Nigerian bulk electricity trading and market operator dropped by 156 billion naira in the first 9 months of 2024. Data from the Nigeria Electricity Regulatory Commission have revealed. According to NEC, the financial remittance represent the cumulative upstream invoices payable by the DISCOs to MBET and MO for transmission and administrative services providing during the period under review. NERC disclosed that in the first quarter of 2024, the cumulative upstream invoice payable by DISCOs stood at 114.12 billion naira. However, the power firms collectively remitted 110.62 billion naira, of which 65.52 billion naira went to NBET and 45.10 billion naira to MO, leaving the outstanding balance of 3.50 billion naira. Bauchi State Government has approved and rectified a memorandum for the establishment for the Bauchi Ming-Shring Company as a move to explore more opportunities, create jobs, and improve the internally generated revenue of the state. This was disclosed by the Commissioner, Ministry of Natural Resources Development, Umewada Bello, in a press briefing with journalists after the State Executive Council meeting. Bello stated that the initiative was born out of the state government's passion for opening Bauchi for investment and as a business hub. A trade volume between Nigeria and China exceeded $20 billion in 2024. The Chinese ambassador to Nigeria, Yu Dunhai, disclosed this during the celebration of the 2025 Chinese Lunar New Year at the Chinese Cultural Center in Abuja. Speaking at the event, Ambassador Yu, however, Nigeria's significance in China's trade partnerships across Nigeria, expressing optimism about further collaboration between the two nations. On our foreign scene now, jubilant crowds cried tears of joy in Tel Aviv's Hostage Square on Saturday as they watched footage of 4 Israeli women hostage being freed by Hamas in Gaza. Waving Israeli flags and holding up images of the 4 young women or soldiers, the crowd burst into cheers as footage of them being handed over to the Red Cross broadcast on a big square in a big scene in the square. The 4 Israeli women soldiers held hostage since its October 7, 2023 attack, released on the truce deal in the Gaza war that is also expected to see a second group of Palestinian prisoners freed. The U.S. State Department has suspended proceeding passport applications seeking the gender marker of X and will only process and issue passports for people identifying as male or female. A department spokesperson said the move aligns with an executive order signed by President Donald Trump that says it is U.S. government policy to recognize 2 sexes, male and female, and that these sexes are not changeable. In addition to the suspension of proceeding the application with the X marker, the State Department is no longer issuing U.S. passports with this marker, adding that guidance regarding previous issue X sex marker passport is forthcoming. The United States, the world's biggest donor, froze virtually all foreign aid, making exceptions only for emergency food and military funding for Israel and Egypt. Secretary of State Marco Rubio said in internal memos days after President Donald Trump took office, vowing an American-first policy of tightly restricting assistance overseas. The sweeping order appears to affect everything from development assistance to military aid, including to Ukraine, which received billions of dollars in weapons under Trump's predecessor, Joe Biden, as it tries to repel a Russian invasion. The U.S. Senate narrowly confirmed former Fox News co-host Pete Hegseth as Pentagon chief despite allegations of alcohol abuse, sexual misconduct, and other fears about his ability to lead the world's most powerful military. 3 Republican senators voted against Donald Trump's pick as Secretary of Defense, resulting in a 50-50 tie that required J.D. Vance to cast the including ballot. Only the second time in history a Vance president had had to intervene to save a cabinet nominee. The razor-edge result underscored some concerns about Hegseth, who will take over the Pentagon with war raging in Ukraine, the Middle East versatile despite ceasefire in Lebanon and Gaza, and as Trump expands the military's role in security on the U.S.-Mexico border. The UN Agency for Palestinian Refugees must end operations and leave it all premises in Jerusalem by January 30th. Israel's UN ambassador says affirming timeline set as a controversial Israeli legislation defied international concern. Israel lawmakers have passed legislation that bars the agency UNRWA from operating in Israel and East Jerusalem, the sector of the city annexed by Israel following the 1967 Six-Day War. The agency has forced criticism from Israel that has escalated since the start of the war, including claims that dozens of its 13,000 Gaza employees were involved in the deadly October 7, 2023 assault by Hamas. In sports stories now, Super Eagles and Galatasaray striker Victor Osimhen has found himself embroiled in controversy following an alleged altercation with a journalist in Istanbul, Turkey. According to Turkish media outlet Posta, the incident occurred as Osimhen, on loan from Napoli, was leaving a nightclub with friends. The said journalist Talgo Bazoman recounted the encounter, claiming that Osimhen reacted aggressively to being photographed. He further stated that the striker attempted to bribe him to delete the footage. Chelsea opposed to table a bid for Algardo Garnacho after Napoli's offer for the Manchester United winger was rejected. Per Franzo Romano, Napoli have been in an offer worth €50 million for Garnacho reject, and Chelsea are now ready for their own offer. The Argentine winger is nearing an exit from United, and his agent was spotted at Stamford Bridge during the Blues' clash with Wolves. It now appears that they will firm up their interest. Still on sports, Manchester manager Pep Guardiola has insisted Manchester City will be back in the hunt, win the Premier League next season after struggling this term. City, following an unprecedented run of 4 consecutive English titles, are currently 12 points adrift of leaders Liverpool and on the brink of bowing out of the Champions League after throwing away a 2-goal lead in a 4-2 defeat by Paris Saint-Germain on Wednesday. But Guardiola, who has won 18 trophies since arriving at the Instadad in 2016, was confident of recovery as his side continued to battle for place in the next season's Champions League. In tennis now, Harris of Finland and Britain's Henry Patton won an epic late-night men's double final to add the Australian Open crown to their Wimbledon title on Saturday. The 6 seeds lost a mammoth fourth set lasting 87 minutes before pulling through 6-7, 16-18, 7-6, 7-5, 6-3 against Italian third seed Simone Balile and Andre Vavasore. Now that's it on Global Television News Cycle. A quick reminder that Global TV is on DSTV channel 365, on Star Times channel 276, and free to air on Nicomsat. Kindly follow us across all social media platforms now showing on your screen by using @Global TV NG. I am Jumai Manson. Thank you for watching.